And then we have the biblical story of Jonah and the whale, the white whale. And Jonah is cast overboard because Yahweh sends a great storm and sends a great sea monster to swallow him up in the belly of the beast. You see, Yahweh is the storm god who sends the great storm, exactly like Noah's ark in the great storm, because Yahweh is the storm god, the god of thunder and lightning, exactly like Baal, Zeus, Thor, and many other ancient gods that were known as the storm gods. And usually they had their right hand raised, ready to hurl a thunderbolt to their enemies. So don't assume that I'm full of bullshit, and do a little research and you'll find the true hidden aspects of the bull god of the Bible. And this is exactly why Yahweh, the great storm god, appears as a cloud on Mount Sinai with thunder and lightning. And this is also why the great bull god from Sumeria was also known as the Lord of the Storm or the Lord of the Air. So now let's get back to the etymology of the word whale or wa-el. And yes, the L in whale is related to the bull god El. You see, so the whale or the Wa'el is the largest or the most high, the biggest animal on Earth. Therefore, like when you go to Las Vegas and a person is an elite or they are super wealthy and rich, they call them a whale because they are a high roller. So like I said before, the whale shares the same etymology with the word bull, which is bahel, to blow, inflate, or swell, because the whale blows, casts, and throws in the air, exactly like the bull. And so perhaps now you will gain a little more understanding of why a family of whales is called a bull, a cow, and a calf. So of course the whale is the largest animal in the world, but it is in the sea. So the largest land animal is without question the humongous elephant or the elephant. So the elephant is comprised of two words, the L and the font. The font comes from the fanin, meaning to show or display. Thus, the phallic symbol of his trunk, which is the proboscis, the probe, the appendage, the phallic fertility symbol, because the elephant has the largest penis of all land animals. And this is why the word font is related to the word phallus. Thus, the relationship to the phallus of the bull, the bahel. And the font gives us words like sexual fantasies, which is why we have the fantasy of the Phantom of the Opera. And of course, the most high or the top of the line is the Phantom. So anyway, as I have stated before, El, which is the bull god of the Bible, is related to the phallic fertility of the bull penis, which is the obelisk. And actually, if you do your research, you'll see that many gods in history are related to the phallic fertility. And this is exactly why in ancient history we find the fertility stones or the Herma fertility pillars, like the Stone of Destiny or the stone of Jacob, the high priest who anoints the phallic stone penis head. And this is exactly why the Judeo-Christian religions practice even today what's called circumcision. Because besides the astrotheological aspect of the Bible, the truth is that the Bible is a creation story, thus the story of Adam and Eve, and Jesus and Mary and Joseph. In other words, the Bible is really about a story of sex. This is why we have the theme of eternal life. Because the truth is, eternal life comes from the practice of sex. You see, because the truth is, since ancient times, the only truth and God that we know is sex, and the eternal life it gives us through our children. And this is exactly why when we have sex and have an orgasm, or the creation or the explosion, the big bang of life, we always say, "Oh my God." So yes, the horny horns and the phallic trunk of the elephant is related to the bull god El. And this is exactly why a family of elephants has the bull, which is the father male, and the cow, which is the goddess, and the calf, which is the baby. So like I said, the two largest or the most high animals in the world of the sea and the land are related to El. So we have the blue whale, which is the largest animal in the world, and believe it or not, the very color of blue stems from the Indo-European root of bahel. You see, the Earth is known as the blue planet, and the oceans of the deep are deep blue, as well as the heavens or the sky above, which is also blue. This is exactly why in the Bible we have what's known as biblical blue. So blue comes from Bahel, and it also says to see the word bleach, because bleach is the pale white shine, or the color that represents Bahel. And of course, Clorox has the ox in it. So Bahel means the white light, which is Bel or Baal, which is exactly why we have the ancient white bull found throughout the world in ancient history. This is exactly why the bull god, the Apis bull, Ptah, and Osiris were dressed in white, exactly like the bull god of the Bible, Jesus or Jesus, which is exactly why Zeus, the bull god, is also dressed in white or Bahel. And of course, the horns of the moon are bright white, exactly like the sun. Which is why the ancient pyramids were always dressed and adorned in bright white light. And that's why the Temple of Luxor was once bright white. And that's exactly why we have the White House. And the white, bright light of the snow, the Bahel snow, has always been found high or most high where the Most High exists, which is where God exists, up in the mountains at the very top where the snow or the white Bahel is. And this is why the mountain plays such an important role in the Bible. This is where God meets man at the top of a mountain. And of course, we have the biblical story of the Temple Mount, as well as Mount Zion. And of course, this is why the ancient Greeks also had the same exact story where God dwelled high upon a mountain, which was known as Mount Olympus, which is exactly where the bull god Zeus, all dressed in white or Baal, ruled atop of Mount Olympus. And the story goes back even further with the ancient Ugaritic Canaanite Phoenician bull god El and his son Baal, the bull gods, who of course were found and were dwelling up in the mountain, the Mount of Zaphon, which is the sacred mountain of the gods. So the story of the Bible has what's known as the slain God or the sacrificed one. That's why Jesus is sacrificed, because all of the ancient religions of the world have always had what's known as the slain God, the sacrificed one. He is sacrificed because of the forces of nature. He is an anthropomorphic representation of the natural world, which of course begins and ends. And this is represented by the Bibles, or the two pillars of the sun and the moon. This, for example, is why we have coins or money, which is golden and also silver, because they represent both the sun and the moon. And this is why when the male or the female, the sun and the moon, unite as one and get married, you'll notice you always wear either a gold or a silver ring. So like I said before, this is the true symbolism of the golden calf, which represents the horns of the moon and the golden sun. And this is exactly why the religion of the Bible has the story of the golden crown, which is around Jesus, the Son of God. And of course, Saturn El, or Cronus, is the god of the golden crown. And by the way, this is exactly why Baal is also represented with the golden head or the golden crown. So you see, this is why the book of Revelations in the Bible talks about the white cloud, and seated on the white cloud was one like a son of man, with a crown of gold upon his head, and a sharp sickle. Because without question, the book of Revelations is talking about the god of the sickle, the god of the golden crown, Cronus, Saturn El, the bull god, the father of the gods, the Most High. And you can find this symbolism of the golden crown throughout the world. So we know that the gold represents the golden sun. But why do you think these gods were often portrayed in the color of green? Because like I said earlier, the color green represents the springtime, which is why these gods were the gods or the slain gods of death and resurrection. And the resurrection was always the Passover during springtime. So now you'll also understand why the bull god Baal, the storm god, is also represented with the color green, which is why Jesus is also represented with the color green. His symbolism is the springtime, which is known as the Passover or the vernal equinox. And of course, springtime or summertime begins on May 1st, which is in the house of Taurus, the bull. And this is why you'll also find the symbolism of the green bull, which is the green fertility of the bull Taurus of springtime, the beginning of summer. So remember I told you that Bahel, the Indo-European root word, means to shine, to flash, to burn, the color of white, the color of Bel. And would you believe it, that the very etymological root of the word black also has the same root meaning in etymology. So the etymology of both black and white stem from Bahel. Thus, as above, so below.